that's a first pick which is smart here, the Fortress one?
We do see a lot of Fortress picks coming out. However, you know, you're leaving out this Scarf for Team Secret, who likes to pick up Scarf. You know, they put Qualifier on him, they throw him up in the lane, and he does so dominantly in that early to mid game, where he scales even better when it hits that late game.
Alright, and there we see Team Secret getting away that Sky, so no chance for PT Lamb to show again an extraordinary performance. On the other side, Qualifier here with the second draft, what can we expect?
You know, like, by picking up that Sky first, I can't say for sure that they will picking up a Scarf to go along with that. However, I can start guessing what Snow Tsunami is going to pick, because this is a team that does like to favor those late game scaling compositions. They play out the positioning very well in that team.
Alright. We'll see, this draft seems to take much longer than the first one. In general, it seems like teams, they know, alright, this is going to happen, the mind games are real, so they have a lot of discussion probably going on right now here. So Siska going with the core together with the Fortress.
So I feel like the Sky is, you know, this is really fitting for the side of Snow Tsunami. Like, this is one of the comps that they always push, especially through ranked games, through like qualifiers, and through tournaments in general.
Alright, and Vox, which is just a super balanced, strong hero. I'd say both weapon power and crystal power. I think he fits in that comp pretty well here. And on the last but not least, it is again here we see Saw is switching. Oh no, still staying on the side of Team Secret, excuse me. Very, very excited here to see Majestic most likely going for that. Do they really want to push that Saw to the limit?
I think they are going to be suffering on the side of Team Snow. They will have a lot of trouble in that jungle, especially with, you know, Sky always trying to put pressure, trying to always invade as much as possible. But, you know, they will have a rough time in that early game for Snow Tsunami, and it's up to them whether they can carry deep into that late game if they want a chance to win this out.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is about the Saw-centric here. Majestic, can he carry the game together with his partners Mowgli and Qualifier? The action taken from Action Jackson and X-Con. Will take it away, guys.
Man, 2 Saws in a row. This is a very weird day. Team Secret really going back to their roots here, picking up a lot of this Saw. On the flip side, we got a Vox coming out of PT Lamb, something he's pretty well known for. No life on his signature Kroll. Should be a good game too. Have to see if Team Secret can make it a bit further this week.
I think Team Secret must have an idea how to, or how they want to deal with this Kroll, because they wouldn't let it go through every single time if that were the case. I don't think we're going to see an Aftershock Arden this time round, with the Sky being the, I guess, the main form of jungle coming out from Team Secret this time round. So we're going to see Qualifier on Sky in the jungle role, and then we're going to see a classic, more widely played roaming Arden this time round. And I won't be mixing up alternating current and Aftershock this time round, because obviously I don't think they're going to get built.
Yeah, it definitely seems unlikely. Qualifier right now does have 2 crystal bits already, so doing some good poke onto Snow Tsunami as they make their way down to the jungle shop. Majestic has been relatively safe up in lane so far. He did have to dodge 1 gank early coming out of Snow Tsunami, and it's definitely good to see them realizing that they need to shut him down quickly, trying to go for it again here, but Roadie Run and the movement speed granted by it, keeping Majestic fairly safe for now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested because I do think the composition from Snow Tsunami, again, is pretty good into a composition that utilizes a Saw like this. They do have a double threat this time in the form of Sky and Saw, but both of which require pretty extraordinary positioning just to make sure that they can work in the later portions of the game. And you're relying solely here on the Arden to provide your form of peel, if you will, where you have a very hyper-mobile team coming out from Snow Tsunami.
Oh, Qualifier, speaking of that mobility, he's got to use it to get on out of there, face-checking the bush. Does take a decent chunk of damage as Mowgli and him try and assist Majestic in lane, but they're going to be able to get out of there. One thing that Team Secret definitely have going for them early in this game, they're going to have a lot of damage in the jungle so long as they can play safe. Majestic, he needs to get out of here yet again, though. Look at those stacks going across. No Life picks up the kill with his Spectral Smite. 3rd time's the charm. They finally managed to take down that Saw with a gank.
it's actually fairly easy to deal with Saw in lane, especially if that Roadie Rush is down. You know, with a Cruel as well, you know, you can just charge in there once he's built up those stacks of passives. You've got a pretty mobile carry in the form of Vox, and you have Fortress to obviously provide that form of initiation too. So if you are pretty certain that skill is down, then you can just barrel in on a Saw and try and take him down ASAP. He's one of the easier carries to try and gank in lane. So and you can only play Saw in lane. I guess you could play him in the jungle, but your ability to move would be so ridiculously slow that it just probably wouldn't work that effectively. So I like that they are putting pressure here onto Saw once more. Majestic really feeling the pain from Snow Tsunami.
That's some
feel
pretty
a bit of pain
effective suppressing fire there, stacking it on a forward barrage. You're not going to be able to get out of that one too easily.
I do like that combo, by the way, Jackson. The suppressing fire comboed with the forward barrage. You are basically guaranteeing a full duration damage hit here. My query is, if we get to late game, is this Vox just going to be too mobile to deal with from, you know, essentially Skye, who is very limited to where she can do the majority of her damage. I say that a No Life going very aggressive has to pay close attention as he backs out. But I don't know how you feel, because you know, Skye realistically had forward barrage is the fairly significant portion of her damage, and Vox is able to dance in and out of that fairly easily.
Look at how quickly this turret is going down. I feel like Team Secret, they've they actually pick up PT Lamb too. So first kill of the game for them. I'm sure you've heard the expression of a good defense is a good offense, and I really feel like putting Qualifier on this
It's not the other way around, Jackson. Is it not a good offense? Is a good defense?
No, you can use both. That's kind of the beauty.
I really don't think I've seen both used.
Oh well, I mean, you should go look it up because it's definitely a thing. But in any case,
is it definitely a thing, Jackson?
It is definitely a thing. You're doing a Venius here, man. I gotta correct you.
Okay.
But in any case, you know, I feel like instead of just having nothing but peel for Majestic, having Qualifier putting down some damage, especially early on, is actually facilitating the push more than the peel was last game. Because as soon as No Life went in, he got chunked for so much damage.
I actually think the siege and tower push from Team Secret is even better this time round. Obviously, you're just adding Skye to the mix, who's pretty decent at sieging towers in her own right. So now Skye and Saw, I mean, you saw how quickly that went down. And the ability you saw there on that first tier 1 turret for Snow Tsunami, Skye was able to zone them either in towards the turret with her forward barrage or away from the turret to either, you know, secure kills after you've taken the turret or force them away so you get a free ramp up with Saw and then able to take it very quickly. So I like the play there from the Snow Tsunami.
So one thing we're seeing from Siska that we didn't actually mention last game as a remedy to the Saw push, but something you can certainly do, is he's buying minion candies very early, which is going to buff up the wave, make it a bit harder to push. I like that adaptation here. But at the same time, not sure it's really doing enough. I mean, we saw almost 2 entire turrets going down there. Goldmine easily going to be picked up due to the map pressure that has allowed Team Secret to leverage. They're really snowballing this game a little bit faster than they were able to utilize their comp last time.
And I think that's good because you're going up against a Vox who is actually building the item known as alternating current and not aftershock. So yeah, we are going to see alternating current. That is probably, you know, is a core item on the Crystal Power Vox here. So, you know, the earlier you can ramp and take down turrets, the better it is dealing with that late game powerhouse that is the Vox.
You know, this reminds me a lot. Actually, hang on a second. From Hell's Heart, gonna land on Qualifier. He needs to Surrey Strike backwards. Meanwhile, Majestic doing so much to PT Lamb, forcing him away. PT Lamb, by the way, not even level 6 right now, so no wait for it. He's not going to have the silence to combo with from Hell's Heart to facilitate getting those picks. Team Secret, just returning to what I was saying before, really looking like their old selves with regards to this push composition. This is very much what you would have expected to see from these guys back in Autumn, for example. Gauntlet going down, stuns up No Life. PT Lamb jumps into it for Barrage. Not quite going to fully connect to Siska. Doing some good body blocking there, stopping too much damage from going across. But now the turret's bare. No Life, the only one here, trying to defend it. Look at how quickly it is going down. Majestic just annihilates the turret. And that's already 3 picked up at 7.5 minutes for Team Secret.
Majestic and Qualifier are able to annihilate a turret. Do you know what I really like about this Team Secret composition? They've got ridiculous zone control. And given, you know, how we see team fights tend to play out in Vainglory, zone control is so important. I mean, especially versus a Vox, they can place the gauntlet, suppressing fire, forward barrage, and you're really limiting the areas that PT Lamb can jump to. You're limiting the areas that No Life can walk in through. So there is so many good forms of zone control here coming out from Team Secret.
Yeah, there really are. It's difficult for No Life to really get to the targets he's looking for without taking a bit too much damage. And it's also worth noting he can only really apply weakness stacks to one person. So if Majestic is weakened, well, then Qualifier can probably still melt through No Life, especially once he picks up his second big item. Worth noting at this point, it's only 8.5 minutes in. A lot of these big items haven't been accumulated by the teams. But after this gold mine, as well as picking up 3 turrets, Team Secret can't be too far off a few more.
Now, I think what needs to happen here for Snow Tsunami is you need to get a fortress, you need to get a Warhorn ASAP, and then they just need to play conservatively, really turtle up hard. The issue for them is going to be they realistically need to have some form of way to fight at around 15 minutes, because I think if they lose Kraken, they lose the game, just given how easy it is for Team Secret to siege turrets. So Snow Tsunami need to really turtle in. They need to get those 2 core items onto PT Lamb, potentially more. You need to see a Warhorn coming out on Sosiska, and No Life needs to finish something. You know, one of those items needs to be finished, whatever it would be. And that's their main form or ability to win here, because you can see like they can't even go into their own jungle at this point. I mean, they are taking this conservative play to a whole new level. They've lost another minion mine. It means that pushing is going to be easier for Team Secret. But if they do just sit in their base for the next 5 minutes, try and get as much gold as physically possible, then maybe they have a chance, especially with that double item spike that PT Lamb can pick up. But they are getting out leveled quite considerably at this current time, and obviously getting out golded, if that's even a real word, which isn't. So, you know, they've got to turtle hard at this point.
Oh, they really do. And Team Secret right now sitting at such a tremendous gold lead, over 6k from Hellsheart, blocked by Mowgli there. So hard for Snow Tsunami to really engage and defend this. I don't know. I think Team Secret could just close out the game in
they can.
a minute or two here.
It.
Look at this. They're just tanking up turrets at 10.5 minutes. That is ridiculous. They are so far ahead. A far cry, really, from last game as Attack Pack gets popped. Mowgli using the gauntlet. Doesn't really catch anyone in the edge of it, though. Now he needs to be careful. Maybe back out here, trying to peel for Majestic. You can see Qualifier just playing on the perimeter of the fight, getting so much damage down, hardly taken any himself. So far, it's that 1-for-1 trade, but losing No Life in exchange for Mowgli is a great trade for Team Secret. Majestic, got to be careful, though. He might go down here. Doesn't have any sustain. Qualifier needs to back away. Forward barrage, buying him some space with the movement speed boost. But look at this. Sosiska isn't done. He wants to keep the fight going. That's going to be a stun onto PT Lamb. Qualifier somehow managing to get out of the base, but he's low on energy. Going to be difficult for him to find any more, but he actually picks up 1 return kill. We've got minions trying to push in, but they didn't actually pick up the second Vein Crystal turret. I didn't quite catch that because it was so low that the shield was basically all that's left.
Go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed it was going to go down. Right now, you can see that it was painfully obvious in that fight. Snow Tsunami just don't have any damage. They've got literally nothing going for them at this point. Hopefully that little injection of gold for PT Lamb will allow him to pick up at least that broken myth. And once that's completed, then you'll start to see some real damage come out from the side of Snow Tsunami. But, you know, at this point in time, Cruel doesn't really have any damage. He's not tanky enough to be able to stack up weakness stacks. You're not seeing a Warhorn yet for Sosiska. And PT Lamb is still, you know, a combination gold set away from being able to finish up his broken myth. So it's only going to take another combined effort from Team Secret here, take out that last Vein Crystal turret, and then they should be able to close out the game.
I would imagine so, and with the second minion mine getting picked up, plus the fact that Mowgli's gone for 2 minion candies, they're going to have, you know, close to an indestructible wave of minions pushing in to the base of Snow Tsunami next up, due to the fact that there's just not enough damage on PT Lamb to really address it. You can see Team Secret starting to make their way now.
Another real issue for me as well, Jackson, is there is no... I mean, Broken Myth has been complete for PT Lamb, great, but there's no reflex block for him there. And that for me is huge, because as soon as that gauntlet comes down, it means he can't get into position to do any damage.
Oh, but the gauntlet gets interrupted there by From Hell's Heart. Qualifier, he nearly goes down here, but look at the return damage. It doesn't even matter. Team Secret, Majestic, picking up 2 quick kills. So Siska gonna have to run away with his tail between his legs as Team Secret push into the base here. They want to go to a blind pick game 3.
Now, they are going to go to a blind pick game 3 here, Jackson. They are going to take down that Vein Crystal, and Team Secret sticking to their guns and soaring through their opposition. They'll take the ace and the game. And that's it for the second game of this series. We're going to a blind pick.
Gonna be interesting to see what gets snatched up here in the blind pick. Team Secret, they've had Adagio banned away from them both games so far, and they've been prioritizing the Saw. Maybe they just go back to the old school OG
I
Saw
think they
push
do.
dump.
I think they do. I think you pick up Adagio's Saw here if you're Team Secret, and you have to think thoroughly hard for Snow Tsunami how you're going to try and deal with that, because if you're seeing Saw very rapidly picked up in 2 games for Team Secret, then you have to imagine that they are going to go for that OG comp, especially since Adagio has been the ban. So I think you're right there, Jackson. I think you're onto something, and I think Snow Tsunami, they're going to have a plan in the bag, because they need one.
Absolutely. Well, to maybe make some predictions on what that plan might be, let's hear from our analysts.
Thank you very much, Action Jackson and X-Counterl. What a